Authored by E. M. Forster and first published in 1924, A Passage to India is set against the backdrop of the British Raj and the Indian independence movement in the 1920s. In A Passage to India, British schoolmistress Adela Quested and her elderly friend Mrs. Moore visit the fictional Indian city of Chandrapore. Adela must decide if she wants to marry Ronny Heaslop, the city magistrate and Mrs. Moore's son. Dr. Aziz, a young Indian Muslim physician, is summoned by his superior but arrives late. Disheartened, Aziz impulsively enters a mosque and encounters Mrs. Moore. They have a heated exchange but part as friends. Ronny, however, takes offense. Mr. Turton invites Indians to his house to meet the newcomers, but the gathering is uncomfortable due to cultural differences. Adela, Mrs. Moore, and Dr. Aziz are later invited to a tea party by Cyril Fielding, the college principal, along with Hindu Brahmin professor Narayan Godbole. Driven by Adela's request, Fielding invites Aziz as well. During the party, Fielding and Aziz become friends, and Aziz promises to take Adela and Mrs. Moore to the Marabar caves. However, Ronny interrupts the gathering and abruptly ends it. Aziz mistakenly believes that Adela and Mrs. Moore are upset about his unfulfilled promise. Despite the cost, he arranges a trip to the caves. Inside, Mrs. Moore feels overwhelmed and stays behind, while Aziz and Adela proceed with a guide. During their conversation, Aziz is taken aback when Adela asks about his marital status. Startled, he enters a cave to compose himself. When he exits, he discovers Adela speaking to Miss Derrick, who arrived with Fielding. Aziz greets Fielding, but Adela and Miss Derrick leave. On their way back to Chandrapore, Aziz is arrested and accused of assaulting Adela. The trial intensifies racial tensions. Adela claims Aziz attacked her, but she later admits confusion caused by the cave's echoes. The case is dismissed. Ronny ends his engagement with Adela, and she stays with Fielding until her return to England is arranged. Although Aziz is cleared, he resents Fielding for befriending Adela. Fielding convinces Aziz not to seek compensation, straining their friendship. Fielding eventually leaves for England, and Aziz vows never to befriend a white person again. 2 years later, Aziz is the chief physician in the state of Mau. When Fielding returns married to Stella, Mrs. Moore's daughter, they meet again. In the end, Aziz realizes their friendship can only be genuine once India gains independence from British rule.
Check out our playlist links at the end of this video for similar great reading ideas. If you want to buy this book or the audiobook, you'll find links below in the description along with a free trial offer with Audible, who have the world's largest selection of audiobooks. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We hope to see you again soon.